Amina was a humble young woman, born and raised in a small African town where everyone knew each other by name. Life there was simple, quiet mornings, dusty streets, and warm sunsets that painted the sky gold. Amina worked at the bustling local market every day, helping her aunt sell colorful fabrics. From sunrise to sunset, she arranged the cloth neatly, called out prices, and welcomed customers with her bright smile. People in the market admired her, not because she was rich or powerful, but because she carried kindness in everything she did. She helped elderly women choose fabrics, tied heavy bundles for tired mothers, and even entertained restless children while their parents shopped. Amina never asked for anything in return. She believed that kindness was something you gave freely, like a seed that grew quietly in the heart. Even though her life was modest and luxury, no Amina felt content. She found joy in helping others, sharing small moments, and watching strangers leave her stall with a little more happiness than they came with. One extremely hot afternoon, as the sun burned brightly above the market, a mysterious woman walked in. She wore elegant but old-fashioned clothes full of grace, full of stories. The woman moved slowly, observing the market with calm eyes, but her gaze stopped when she saw Amina. Amina was busy helping an elderly man carry a heavy basket to the end of the street. Sweat ran down her forehead, but she didn't complain. She laughed softly as she walked, making the old man feel respected rather than burdensome. The mysterious woman's eyes warmed. She watched Amina's gentle nature, the way she lifted others without expecting anything in return. When Amina returned to the stall, the woman stepped closer, her presence quiet but strong. She placed a small wrapped package on Amina's table. The cloth wrapping was beautiful, tied with an old ribbon. Amina looked up in surprise. "For you," the woman said softly. "You deserve it." Before Amina could ask who she was or why she was giving her a gift, the woman turned and disappeared into the busy crowd. Swallowed by the noise of the market, Amina stood still, confused and curious, staring at the mysterious package she never expected to receive. Amina waited until the market closed before she finally sat down to open the mysterious package. After a long, tiring day of helping customers, she expected something small inside, maybe a box of chocolates, or perhaps a simple scarf from a kind stranger. But when she unfolded the brown paper wrapping, her eyes grew wide with disbelief. Inside lay a beautiful leather handbag, smooth, glossy, and clearly very expensive. The stitching was perfect, the design elegant, and the bag smelled new and luxurious. It was the kind of item rich tourists carried, not something a simple market girl like Amina would ever dream of owning. Her hands trembled as she lifted it. "Is this really for me?" she whispered to her aunt, who had been closing up the fabric stall, turned and gasped, "Amina, this is not a cheap bag. Are you sure that woman meant to leave it with you?" Amina thought back to the mysterious lady's calm smile and gentle voice. She said, "For you, you deserve it." "I don't think it was a mistake." Her aunt frowned, worry filling her eyes. "Sometimes expensive gifts bring trouble. People might think you stole it." But Amina held the bag close. Something about the gift felt sincere. There was no fear in her heart, only surprise and a growing sense of gratitude as she inspected the bag more carefully. She noticed something tucked beneath the inner pocket lining. It looked like a small folded note. At first, she ignored it, assuming it was just a price tag or a warranty paper. She was too overwhelmed to think about anything else. On her way home, she walked with pride, the bag hanging from her shoulder. Neighbors looked at her with curiosity. Some smiled, some whispered. But Amina didn't mind. She felt special for the first time in her simple life. When she finally reached home, she showed the handbag to her mother. Her mother's eyes widened. "Where did you get this, Amina?" "A woman at the market gave it to me," she explained softly. "I don't know who she is. She just said I deserved it." Her mother touched the leather gently inside. "It is a blessing, my daughter. Be grateful." "And careful." Amina nodded, unaware that the small, ignored note hidden inside the bag carried the real story, one that would soon change everything the next morning. Sunlight filtered softly into Amina's small room as she prepared for another day at the market. She picked up the leather handbag, still amazed that it belonged to her now. She wanted to wipe it gently and keep it looking new. So she opened it and began cleaning the inside with a cloth dot as she tilted the bag. A small folded paper slipped out and fluttered to the floor. Amina frowned. "What is this?" she whispered. Picking it up, she slowly unfolded it, expecting to see a price tag or maybe a thank you note from the mysterious woman. But the handwriting inside was unfamiliar, elegant, careful, and clearly written by someone serious. Her heart began to beat faster even before she read the words. Then she saw the message. "This bag belonged to your real mother." Amina froze. Her hands shook so badly that the note slipped from her fingers and fell to the floor again. She stared at it as though it was something dangerous. "My real mother," she whispered. Her chest tightened. Her breath became shallow. All her life, she had believed one simple truth, that her mother had died giving birth to her. It was what everyone said. It was what she grew up accepting without question. But this note, this single sentence, shattered everything. Confusion washed over her first dot, then fear, and finally, a deep, burning curiosity. Who wrote this? Why now? And what did it mean for the life she thought she understood? Amina knew one thing for certain. The gift was not just a gift anymore. It was a message, a door opening into a past she never knew existed. Amina ran home faster than she ever had in her life. Her heart was pounding, her hands trembling, and the mysterious note felt like it was burning in her pocket. When she reached the small mud brick house, her mother was cooking porridge over the fire. "We need to talk," Amina said, her voice shaking. Her mother turned, surprised by the urgency in her tone. "What happened, my child?" Amina held out the note with trembling fingers. "Please read this." Her mother wiped her hands on her cloth and took the paper. The moment her eyes saw the words, her expression changed. Her face went pale. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. "Is this true?" Amina whispered. "Who is my real mother?" Silence filled the room like a heavy weight. Her mother lowered herself onto a wooden stool, tears already forming in her eyes. Amina had never seen her look so afraid. "Amina," she began softly, "I have kept a secret from you for 20 years, because I wanted to protect you." Amina felt her knees weaken. "Please, just tell me." Her mother took a long breath, steadying herself. "You were not born in this village. 20 years ago, I went to the small clinic near the river to collect medicine. When I reached the door, I heard a baby crying." Amina's eyes widened. "You were wrapped in a beautiful blanket left on the steps," her mother continued, voice trembling. "There was no name, no message, nothing." She wiped her tears, her voice breaking. "I was a poor woman. I had nothing. But when I saw you, something in my heart knew I couldn't leave you there. So I took you home. I raised you. I loved you. As my own." Amina felt both warmth and pain in her chest. "So, you're not my real mother. I may not have given birth to you," she whispered, "but I am your mother in every way that matters." Amina fell to her knees and embraced her tightly. Tears streamed down both their faces. After a long moment, Amina pulled back. "The leather bag. The woman who gave it to me. Do you think they are connected?" Her mother closed her eyes slowly. "Amina, I have seen that woman before." Amina froze. "What do you mean?" Her mother's voice dropped to a whisper. "She has watched you from afar. Many times. Over the years, I saw her standing across the market, or near the well. She never came close, but she was always looking at you, with eyes full of sadness." Amina's heart pounded the mysterious gift. The note, the woman watching her, everything suddenly felt connected and frightening. Amina barely slept that night. Her mind kept replaying the mysterious woman's face, the soft smile, the sorrowful eyes, the way she disappeared into the crowd as if she had been waiting for the perfect moment to reveal something important. By sunrise, Amina made a decision. She had to find her. There was no peace in her heart until she knew the truth. She tied her scarf, grabbed the leather bag, and walked straight to the market where everything had started. The morning air smelled of fresh bread and spices. Vendors were arranging their stalls, calling out greetings. Amina approached the fruit seller, someone who noticed everyone who passed by. "Did you see a woman yesterday?" she asked. Tall, wearing old-fashioned clothes, kind eyes. The seller frowned, thinking hard, then shook his head. "So many people come and go, my child." "I can't say I remember." Amina moved to the next stall, a woman selling colorful baskets. "Do you know her?" Amina described the woman again, this time more carefully. The basket seller hesitated. "I saw someone like that before. Not yesterday, but months ago. She stood near your aunt's stall, watching. But when I approached her, She walked away quickly.
No, dear.
Amina's
She
heart
walked
toward
toward
the road leading out
where
of
she
town. Amina thanked her and continued her search. She spoke to about 10 more vendors, but none had clear answers. Some remembered seeing a woman dressed differently. Others said she looked like a traveler, but no one knew who she truly was. Feeling frustrated but determined, Amina decided to visit the older women in the community, the ones who had lived in the town for decades and knew every family, every story, every secret. She walked to the home of Mama Nyaru, a respected elder known for her sharp memory. After hearing Amina's description, Mama Nyaru closed her eyes for a moment. "My child, there was once a wealthy family living near the hills, not far from here. They suffered a tragedy many years ago. Their daughter disappeared one night. No one knew whether she ran away or was taken." Amina's breath caught. "A daughter? Around my age?" Mama Nyaru nodded slowly. "It was a long time ago, but yes, perhaps around the same time you were found." Amina's heartbeat quickened. She wanted to ask more, but before she could, another elder who had been listening spoke softly. "I have seen a woman in the market sometimes," she said. "She comes quietly, stands far back, just watching. She never buys anything. She always looks sad, as if she is searching for something she lost." Amina felt a chill run through her body. The pieces were beginning to connect the mysterious woman. The note, her unknown past, and now the story of the missing daughter. She clutched the leather bag tightly to her chest. She felt she was getting closer to her truth, closer to the woman who might be her real mother. Several days passed, each one filled with restless searching and unanswered questions. Amina checked the market every morning and evening, hoping the mysterious woman would appear again, but she never did. One late afternoon, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky in golden-orange colors, Amina walked toward the riverbank to clear her mind. The gentle sound of flowing water usually calmed her, but today her heart was still heavy. Then she froze. Across the river, standing quietly near the tall reeds, was the same woman, the same elegant but old-fashioned clothes, the same calm presence, the same sad eyes. Amina's breath caught. It felt like time had stopped. Gathering all her courage, she walked toward the woman, her steps trembling but determined. When she reached her, the woman turned slowly, as if she had been expecting her. Their eyes met. The woman's lips curved into a soft, emotional smile. Her voice came out in a whisper, filled with both relief and sorrow. "You found the note." Amina felt her heart pound hard in her chest. "Yes, I found it," she said, her voice shaking. "Tell me the truth. Who are you? Why did you give me this bag? What did you mean, your real mother?" The woman looked down at the bag, her fingers gently brushing the worn leather. A tear glistened in her eye before she quickly wiped it away. "Come," she said softly. "Let us sit." She guided Amina to a large tree by the riverbank, its shade cool and comforting. They sat side by side, the wind carrying the soft rustle of leaves around them. For a moment, the woman said nothing. She stared at the flowing river, as if gathering strength from its movement. Amina waited patiently, though her heart felt like it was beating too loudly. Finally, the woman took a deep breath. "There are stories," she began, "that parents carry in their hearts for years. Stories too painful to speak." Amina swallowed hard, bracing herself. The woman continued, her voice trembling. "I have watched you many times, growing, smiling, helping, living a life I wished I could give you myself." Amina's eyes widened, tears forming. "Please," she whispered, "tell me everything." The woman looked at her, really looked at her, with eyes full of a mother's love, regret, and longing. And then, at last, she began to reveal the truth. The river whispered softly beside them as Amina waited, her breath caught between fear and hope. The woman clasped her trembling hands together, as if steadying her heart before opening it. "My name," she said quietly, "is Zahara." Amina felt a strange chill run through her. The name sounded familiar, yet distant, like a story she had never heard but somehow always known. Zahara looked at her with eyes full of hidden years. "I am your mother, Amina, your real mother." The world around Amina seemed to shift. The wind stopped. The birds grew silent. She stared at Zahara, the woman she had been searching for, the one who had left her, the one who had returned. Her lips parted, but no words came. Zahara continued, her voice low and shaking. "I have prayed for this moment for 20 years. to tell you the truth, to tell you why I left you, and why I never stopped loving you." Amina's heart pounded painfully as Zahara began to unwrap the past. Years ago, Zahara lived a life completely different from the simple village surroundings. She came from a wealthy, respected family. She had a big house, fine clothes, servants, everything that looked perfect on the outside. But inside that house lived fear. Her husband, a powerful businessman, was cruel. His anger was unpredictable, his jealousy dangerous. Zahara spent years walking on eggshells, hiding bruises beneath gold bracelets, forcing smiles for the world, while her heart lived in darkness. "When I became pregnant," Zahara whispered, her eyes distant with memory, "I hoped it would save me. I hoped a child would change him, but instead it made things worse. He threatened to kill me and the baby." Amina gasped softly, her hands covering her mouth. Zahara nodded with pain. "I knew I couldn't stay. I had to protect you. So one night, I escaped. I ran until my feet bled, with only a small bag, some money, and the clothes on my back." She placed a hand gently over the leather handbag, the same one she had gifted Amina. "This bag," Zahara said, "carried your baby clothes, my last pieces of hope." She reached the countryside after days of hiding, starving, and terrified. She found temporary shelter with kind strangers, but she knew she couldn't stay long. Her husband's reach was far as men searched everywhere. "When you were born," Zahara said, her voice cracking, "I thought I would die from both joy and fear. You were so small, so beautiful." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "But I was weak, exhausted, and I knew he would keep searching. You were not safe with me. I couldn't protect you. I couldn't even protect myself." Every word stabbed Amina's heart with pain and truth. "So I made the hardest choice a mother can make," Zahara whispered. "I left you at the doorstep of a small clinic. I prayed with all my heart that someone kind would find you, someone who could give you a peaceful life, a life without fear." She closed her eyes, tears falling freely. "I stayed nearby, hiding behind trees, watching. When I saw that poor woman lift you in her arms and hold you close, I thanked God. I knew she would love you." Amina pressed her palms against the ground, trying to steady her spinning emotions. "I kept the bag," Zahara said, gently lifting it. "I kept it because I wanted to return it to you one day, when it was safe." After escaping her husband completely, Zahara spent years trying to rebuild her life. She searched for Amina quietly, never revealing herself, afraid that her past might bring danger to the peaceful home Amina had. "I watched you grow from a distance," she said. "At the market near the school, sometimes by the road. I never spoke because I didn't want to disrupt the happiness you already had." Her voice broke. "When I saw how kind you were, how gentle your heart was, I felt proud. Proud of the woman you became without me." Zahara covered her face with her hands and sobbed. "Giving you the bag was my first step to reaching you, but I was terrified you would hate me or reject me. I understand if you do." Amina's emotions overwhelmed her. Anger at being lead to sadness for Zahara's suffering, confusion about her identity, and a deep, unexpected gratitude. Because despite everything, Zahara had sacrificed her wealth, her home, and her entire life just to protect her. Slowly, with trembling hands, Amina reached out and touched Zahara's hand. Amina spent the night awake, her mind full of swirling emotions. She sat at the edge of her bed, holding the leather bag on her lap, as if it were the last piece connecting to different worlds. Every word Zahara had spoken replayed in her thoughts, the fear, the sacrifice, the years of watching her from afar. But Amina's heart was still tangled. She needed clarity. She needed the woman who raised her. Early the next morning, she went to her adoptive mother, the only mother she had ever known in her daily life. As soon as Amina entered the small kitchen, her mother looked at her with gentle eyes, sensing something heavy in her heart. "Did you find her?" she asked softly. Amina nodded, tears welling up. She told her everything, the bag, the note, the truth, Zahara revealed, and the pain of discovering a past she never imagined. Her adoptive mother listened silently, her hands trembling slightly, but her face calm and full of love. When Amina finished, she braced herself for anger or fear, but instead, her mother reached out and held her hand. "My child," she whispered, "you do not lose me by finding her." Amina broke down. Her mother wiped her tears with the same tenderness she had shown since the day she found her wrapped in a blanket at the clinic doorstep. "You were always meant to know the truth," her mother continued. "If she loves you, then I welcome her. You can have two mothers. Love doesn't divide, it grows." Her words wrapped around Amina's heart. Amina walked through the village, remembering all the moments that shaped her, the struggles her adoptive mother faced to raise her, the kindness she learned from her, and the quiet strength she now recognized came from Zahara too. Amina made her decision. She would get to know Zahara slowly, carefully, but she would never abandon the woman who raised her. With unconditional love, the day of the meeting arrived with a mix of nervous excitement and quiet tension. Amina led Zahara through the familiar paths of the village, toward the small home that had always been her sanctuary. The air was warm, carrying the scent of freshly baked bread from a nearby stall and the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze as they stepped inside. Zahara froze for a moment, overwhelmed by the simplicity and love that filled the modest house. Then, without a word, she fell to her knees before Amina's adoptive mother, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you," she whispered repeatedly. "Thank you for raising my daughter when I could not. Thank you for keeping her safe." Amina's adoptive mother, trembling, knelt as well, reaching out to lift Zahara. Her tears fell freely now, a mix of sorrow and understanding. "You did what you had to do," she said softly. "Your past doesn't make you a threat, it makes you a mother who loved enough to protect her child." The two women embraced tightly, their arms shaking, hearts beating with unspoken forgiveness and shared love. Amina watched, standing quietly between them, feeling the weight of years of secrets, sacrifices, and unspoken fears finally dissolve. She realized in that moment how extraordinary it was to witness two mothers, each with her own story, come together for her sake. Zahara lifted her head and looked at Amina, her eyes glistening with tears and hope. "You are safe," she said, voice trembling. "I only wanted to see you happy." Amina smiled through her tears, feeling the warmth of both women envelop her. Her adoptive mother placed a hand on her shoulder. Zahara mirrored the gesture on the other side. For the first time in years, Amina felt completely whole. She had two mothers, one who had given her life, and one who had shaped it with love, courage, and unwavering care. She realized that family wasn't just defined by blood, but by devotion, sacrifice, and the strength to forgive and embrace. Amina held the leather bag close, feeling the soft, worn leather under her fingers. It had been more than a gift. It was a bridge between past and present, between two mothers and her own journey of discovery. With careful hands, she added a new note inside, her handwriting flowing with intention. "Love finds its way back." She smiled, realizing how true those words were. The bag had carried her not only through her childhood memories, but now into a life enriched with understanding, forgiveness, and connection. Every act of kindness, every moment of selfless care, seemed to ripple forward. Returning in ways she could never have predicted, Amina forgave the past, not only Zahara for leaving her, but the fears and doubts that had shadowed her heart. She understood that love sometimes works in quiet, unseen ways, guiding people and shaping lives before they even realize it. And now, with Zahara by her side, she felt a new bond growing, tender yet strong, built on truth, courage, and shared hope. Walking through the bustling market the next morning, Amina carried the bag with pride. The colorful stalls, the calls of vendors, the laughter of children, everything felt warmer, brighter, and alive. The bag was more than leather and stitches. It was a symbol of love's resilience, a testament to the power of giving and the extraordinary journeys a simple act can create. As she moved through the crowd, smiling at familiar faces and helping strangers with the same quiet generosity she had always shown, Amina understood that life's true wealth came not from possessions, but from love returned, bonds restored, and hope passed from one hand to another. And in that moment, with the bag resting against her chest, she knew love always finds its way back.